All right, so here we're supposed to simplify, and we're going to assume that the radicands are all real numbers. So we don't have to leave radicals in the denominator or negative exponents. Oh, you cannot have negative exponents. Okay, so the first thing they're going to ask is, what is the fourth root of 625? First thing I would do is just go see, what is that a whole number? So we're going to go int root, NTHROOT, and we're going to see fourth root of 625. Let's see if that's a whole number. It is. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. So that's pretty easy. So I know this part right here, that part right there, that's going to make a 5 on the outside. And so I'm going to put 5 on the outside, and whatever stays in the inside, I'll leave here. All right, now let's go to the next one. We have a to the 16th. Notice that 4 divides evenly into 16. If you take 16 divided by 4, you get 4. So remember, you take the exponent divided by the index. So 16 divided by 4, that's 4. So I get a to the 4th. And excuse my weird looking a. Now let's go to the next one. Oh, b to the 6th. So I got b to the 6th. And we're going to take 6 divided by that 4. Oh, it does not. We get numbers left over. So let's think about b to the 6th. B to the 6th is like BB, 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 right? B to the 6th. And what we're saying is, for every 4 of them, 1 comes out. So we can write this as b to the 4th. And if you take b to the 4th divided by 4, you get b to the 1. So all this is saying is, for every 4 b's, one b comes out. So 1 b would come out. So 1 b would come out of this, but you still got the b and the b, so you would still have b squared left over. And then c squared, you could write that as cc if you want, but you're not going to find 4 of them, so let's just leave that as c squared. Anytime your exponent, which is 2, is less than your index, there's nothing you can do. Okay, so we're done. Okay, it's simplified. Let's go to number 5. And again, I am going to type in negative 64 and see, is that a whole number? What is the 5th root of negative 64? Nth root 5, negative 64. Oh, yeah, we can't use that. So now I got to think about 64. And let's think about the number 64. And let's think about anything to the 5th power. So what is 1 to the 5th? 1 to the 5th is 1. What is 2 to the 5th? What is 2 to the 5th? 2 to the 5th is 32. And then what is 3 to the 5th? 243. 243 is too large to go into 64. So let's check again that 2 to the 5th. It's 32. Can I break this up as 32 times something? And I can. I could break this up into negative 32 negative 32 times 2. All right, now the 5th root of negative 32 is negative 2. So this part would come out and we'd make negative 2. But the 2 would stay inside. Okay, so the fifth root of negative 32 is negative 2, but the fifth root of 2, that would stay inside. Now let's go to the next term. We got x to the negative 9. Let's see. 5, if you think about 5, you go 5, 10, 15. So can we rewrite that? And we can. We could write that as x to the 5th we could write that as x to the negative 5 my brain is really hard to think of this in terms of negatives, but yeah, we could do it that way. We could write that as negative 5 and negative 4. All right. So if we have negative 5 and we have negative 4, 5 divided by negative 5 would be negative 1. And negative 4 doesn't go into 5, so I'll leave that as x to the negative 4. Sorry, it took me a second to think about the answer. I'm not sure why my keyboard's not participating. And then we have y to the 7th. And y to the 7th, I could write that as y to the 5th and y squared. Now 5 divided by 5, that's 1, y to the 1. But then the rest would be left over. All right, now putting all this together, let's see, that'd be x to the 9th, x to the positive 9, and a radical. Now putting all this together, I would drop that down to the bottom. So I get negative 2 y to the 5th. I'm going to drop the x to the bottom. Remember, anytime you have a negative exponent, you drop it to the bottom. And then I'm going to keep this the square root of 2. I'm going to drop that to the bottom. Be x to the 4th. And I'll keep this as y squared. And I almost forgot my 5. This should be a 5th root. Oh, this shouldn't be y to the 5th. That was y to the 1. And 5th root there.